Perfect. Well, I think that is enough time in our little starting soon screen, so why don't we move on and we go forward. Today is Saturday, and you know what that means? It means that I am in a 3/4 view currently, but that's for good reason, because I'm kind of dumb, and I wish my software that I use for my model had presets that, I mean, okay, so I have an idea that I could probably do, but it would be a little more work and a little more straight on my PC. So we're just going to try and be as gentle with my PC as possible, considering all of the different things I'm running at once on it. So, you know, I don't want to get too broken with it. So yeah, pardon me. Why don't we talk about the last stream we had? Now, normally I'd stream on Thursdays, but this time I didn't, and that was because I was attending a movie premiere for a film that I had the opportunity to do the audio for. And let me tell you something, it was super fun. It was super good because those film shoots were really, really hard to do. But if you've ever done live filming for just any project, it's not exactly the best thing, but you know, who am I to complain? Because it's what I love doing. It's good work. Now, House Flipper. Tuesday was such a good day to stream because I played House Flipper for the first time. I've never done that before. Like, I was recommended House Flipper and it was a game that really exceeded my expectations in how it, how the game functions and all the fun mechanics and all that. So it was such a fun thing to get to do, and I'm so happy I was able to pick it up for $3 on Steam. Oh my goodness, that is a steal. So we had some really good conversations, about streaming, about debuting, about current events in VTubing and the climate of that. But most importantly, we vacuumed up cockroach nests. So that's something I can certainly say I got to do. So, but like I said, I loved it. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to be playing it again on Tuesday next week. So yeah, super fun. But as for this week, we have some wonderful guests with us. I'll talk about tomorrow, and then I'll talk about today. That way I can talk a little longer about today than tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be having somebody who's a fairly frequent character on our streams, and that is we'll be having the Phantom Fame on as our guest for tomorrow, which I'm super excited for. It's going to be a lot of fun. At the same time, 2 p.m. I encourage everyone to come and to do that. Now, as for today, we have a very, very fun, a very special guest. And, they have a lot to say in terms of things that I've been learning a lot recently, which is a very good thing. And it's they're one of those people where you could hold a conversation with them. In this conversation, you just lose yourself because the dialogue is just so good. And it just makes me happy to have them on the show, because, if there's anything I love, it's 2 hours of talking about them and hearing what they have to say, for whatever comes to mind, especially the questions that I have. So I have some really good questions for them. But yeah, it got a little dusty in here. So why don't we welcome on in the Stardust VTuber Rynthio. Let's go over here. Rynthio, welcome. How are you doing today?
Just wonderful, thank you.
Wonderful. Well, it has been an interesting week, to say the least, in terms of weather here, like for where I am, because all of the weather is starting to drop to the 50s. So I can only imagine what it must be like having to deal with all that stardust.
Oh, it just gets everywhere, Just gotta shower all the time. It's like have you ever had baby powder get everywhere, for example? It's just, you can't even. You think you're clean, and then you're not.
You're spending more time cleaning than you are trying to just avoid it. And so at that point, you might as well just be like, I am one with this now. So, but yeah, so why don't we start off with the question I love asking to everyone here. Who are you, and what is your story?
So, I am Rynthio, the Stardust VTuber. I am, some people could say Scuff Incarnate, a little gremlin. It could be anything you honestly want to, and it's probably not wrong. My lore has me as the child of a village elder who died in battle, I believe, and I had to grow up to take over the village. Kind of like a Pinocchio Geppetto kind of situation. I think I gotta ask, I'm not actually the person who wrote my own lore. I actually didn't start out with lore, believe it or not.
Really?
I did a couple of streams, and then a lovely person by the name of Nina Fire Rose, who comes to my chat all the time, she ended up staying up for 6 hours one night and just saying, screw it, I'm gonna write his lore, not tell him about it, and then next stream, hey, here's 3 pages.
Oh my goodness.
This is your lore now. And it's thank you, but okay.
To be fair, if somebody came into my chat and said, here's 3 pages of lore that you didn't know existed about your character, I feel like I'd also go, okay.
Yeah. And like, for example, I have a little like RGB blob that sometimes I put on my shoulder. She wrote an additional
Joey.
like page for just the blog the next stream.
Oh my goodness. I can only imagine how just like that's something I think about a lot when it comes to just VTubers is lore, because like before it was more of a corporate VTuber thing where these corporate VTubers would create lore for their character, and this would become integral parts of, you know, who they were. Because when you saw indie people, it wasn't as prevalent. And so now that you see, like, as VTubing has become a little more mainstream, you see how differently the game has changed.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen people who are like less than 20 followers and they're putting out the same quality of content, or even just the same level of like background music or just quality in the assets and everything as these corporate levels. So it's like that was the big standard, and now it's trickling down to where even the normal people who want to get into VTubing can absolutely have the same quality or even better if sometimes.
Have you seen have you seen a lot of corporate, or I guess, have you just seen a lot of VTuber lore videos?
Since I've started taking streaming a lot more seriously, I haven't been able to catch up on a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've seen, there are some where I'm like, wow, this person and their best friend did a lore video for this person's VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being better than, say, Onigiri's lore video that she had made by a professional company. So I'm just in here like, I don't think it honestly matters anymore about whether you're spending the money or getting the right artist. It's more about spending the right time to do it, because now everyone has the tools to do it.
You know, it's interesting that you bring that up, because like I feel like some of the best lore videos I've seen actually come out of people who kind of, for lack of a better word, like half-a it, where it's just like nowhere near the like a full-on anime animation, and so instead it's just like, you know, crudely drawn figures, or, you know, just, or stickers like placed on that you just kind of move. Because I want to say the one that comes to mind, I think for me, who was it? Because I think it was somebody who's part of Niji Sanji. I think it was one of the Niji boys.
Yeah.
Was that Shu Yamino? Yes, it was Shu Yamino of Niji Sanji, because their lore video is literally just backgrounds with like stickers just thrown on it. And
I love that.
They just march around, you know, just doing that. So it's kind of incredible to see the variation of somebody who, like, because I think recently with, was it Hololive, or I think it was Niji Sanji, the one that I'm thinking of is, I think, Narissa Ravencroft. I think that's who that was.
Oh, her, yes.
Or somebody like her, or like Kuro of VShojo, you know, how professionally done these lore videos are. You know, people talk about it, people think about it, but I think the ones that stick out the most to me, again, are the ones that are just so unbelievably crude in how they're like, they just don't have a lot of effort. And when I say it doesn't have effort, I mean it is it's just funny because it's not a high production. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Welcome.
The less time that's spent on it absolutely makes it better for no reason whatsoever.
It really does. Welcome,
Appriser.
Appriser. Perfect. Sorry about that. I had to
It's
look
okay.
at the Appriser. I'm like, oh, perfect. Well, welcome to the show. But yeah, it's just like maybe I'm just a sucker for. Let me take a sip of water. Actually, maybe I'm
I
just.
may join you.
Water's good. Hydration is good.
Ah, yes. Get spammed with hydration. Die of water poisoning. Yes.
In this economy, but back to that. It's just like
Yes.
maybe I'm just a sucker for fun, like really poor quality, but like it has a lot of heart things. Because like I prefer videos that are done in MS Paint than something animated by like Studio Mappa or like a UFOtable, and so seeing that stark difference, it just makes you giggle because you can tell there was so much love and so much fun that was put into that. And I'm just saying that corporate videos or things that look like it came straight out of an anime are not done with love, but it just gives you a sense of hope that you don't have to have the most polished lore video, if that makes
Exactly.
sense. So,
and actually, on a unrelated but related note,
yeah,
you may be the kind of person that enjoys like Ringo Starr's MSP art instead of any other canvas style art.
MSP.
So
just Microsoft Paint art.
Yeah, literally, Ringo Starr of the Beatles was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start making paint on MS Paint,"
You're
and
kidding.
release that. No, it's legitimate.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta look at this. Ringo Starr. MS Paint. No.
Yes.
No, what is this? Enter the gallery. Somehow Ringo Starr looks...
Yes.
He looks younger than his son.
I hate that.
This art is cursed. This art is cursed.
It's blurst.
Like, looking at one that he did from 2019.
Oh, he's still doing it? Oh, I haven't seen any of the updated ones.
Oh my gosh. $4,000! I could literally just say... I could save the image here! I could save the image here! Oh my gosh, that seems like a ripoff.
Oh my god.
It's autographed. Oh my lord. That is... So if anybody here has $4,000 burning a hole in their pocket, hop on over to www.ringostarart.com to purchase an autographed MS Paint painting. What do you mean on canvas? That is not canvas. I can see that Ringo.
It's MSP, baby.
No, but you guys have to understand. There's only 12 in stock here. So you better act quickly. Or how about his picture? His art. Why is the one that looks like actual art $2,800? And the one that was drawn in MS Paint by like a 5-year-old $4,000?
Sorry, are you talking about the perfect one from 2005? That is, yeah, baby.
No, I'm talking about the one that's from 2019. Hold on, I gotta see if I can do this. All right, so
I'm glad I could introduce you to this.
Okay, so hold on. This is what I'm going to do. I gotta rearrange some tabs. You're going to disappear for a moment.
It's okay. I'll just float in the wind.
So
because you really want to show this now.
I do. So for those that want to see this is Ringo Starr's art. Ringo Starr of the Beatles. So So, Ringo Starr. No, I don't care about that. Just so this is Ringo Starr. This is Ringo Starr. He is famed drummer. He's the drummer of the Beatles. You know, arguably one of the greatest bands of all time. This is the art he has done. Like what? How much is this? How much is this?
Yeah, baby.
I want to make sure.
That's the best one.
I'm not even gonna dig. This is the one I was talking about. This one right here. This one right here. $4,000 for this.
The complimentary colors. I can't wait for more.
Like, how do you justify this? I'm sorry, I had to bring this up because I felt it was important to share with everyone. So yeah, going back here.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
I am so glad I showed you that abomination.
I think I could have gone my entire life without, for a moment, seeing that.
And now you know?
I don't want to know. So we'll throw that back there.
Yes, we'll throw the red-headed stepchild into the closet.
Okay. My goodness. So back to this. Back to that. So if Ringo Starr can make paintings itself for $4,000, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So, anywho, back to the show, because Ringo Starr.
I love you entertaining.
We're back in robo mode. So as I've mentioned before in past streams, sometimes, because this is running off of Discord, sometimes the audio decides to become robotic. And I need to see if I can commission Apophis, who's my artist, to have a little sign that says, like, in the top left corner that says, "Warning, guests may occasionally become robotic."
Fair.
So it should clear itself up, but I apologize for the dip in quality. You know, sometimes it does that.
It do be like that on this bitch of an earth.
It really do. So, moving past Ringo Starr, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this interview, of these questions. So,
yes,
it seems that you tend to follow the beat of your own drum when you stream, because when we've talked a little bit in the past, you know, you've told me how some of your, in your own words, your streams tend to be scuffed but full of character, and like, because you have a general idea, but you try not to follow a plan because it will sometimes hinder you.
Right.
So how do you manage that by just, you know, this level of spontaneity?
Honestly, I don't handle it. I just go with it, and then I ask myself later, why do I exist when I let this happen?
So it's one of those things where as soon as it happens, you're just like, oh man, I should have maybe planned something.
Like, yeah, that would have been great to know about. But also I couldn't have, so cool. I will regret everything later.
So have there been any, like, moments that stick out to you as of recently where just you know, you've done a stream that just out of the blue, and then suddenly you're just like, wow, that was actually one of the best streams I've ever done?
So actually, I want to say it was the first Just Chatting stream I've done.
Yeah?
And by the end of it, everyone was losing their minds. Like, we had 6-7 different people talking at once. And then somehow my wife got into the mix, and her name online is like Peanut.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided, yeah, we're gonna ship you with the Peanut Man.
Oh my god!
And so they made someone, Douse Mouse, I believe, made art of me making out with the Peanut Man.
The Peanut Man.
Yes, I will send it to you if you would like.
You know, if you want to throw that in that live show chat, is that something you want me to show the audience here? Is it?
I mean,
is it appropriate?
We might as well get as fully cursed as we can get, because it can only go downhill from here.
Well, let's hope it doesn't go downhill. That's super interesting that you, because I know some people who are some streamers, you know, whether they're VTubers or just content creators, you know, sometimes they don't typically bring up their relationship status.
I find it a little interesting because I know she comes into the room all the time, tries to chat up or whatnot. And the funny part is like most of my people are now like, oh, give me your wife. She's my waifu now.
Oh no. So
now people are like, where's my waifu? This is just a stream for me. But where is she?
Oof. So then do you think that in your experience, should streamers kind of, you know, is it maybe, how do I say this? Talk about their relationship. Do you think it's wise for them to talk about their relationship openly? Because if you see like other VTubers or just streamers in general, because I think someone like Amaranth, who is married, who is
situation.
Well, I'm what I more mean is married. You know, they were married, or somebody who is just married. You divulge that to the audience. Sometimes it can change the dynamic a little bit because they're like, oh, you know, the person's not single, they're in a committed relationship. And do you think that could sometimes change the dynamic between the streamer and the chatter?
It could. I think it's mostly based on what you're trying to give as the entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, I'm trying to put out more humor or just vibes, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do something like Amaranth or like Fox Akuma, where it's like the boyfriend-girlfriend experience or anything like that, of that nature, I think it would change the dynamic a lot.
Does Vox Akuma have a girlfriend?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked.
Oh, did you say Vox Akuma?
Yeah, I said Vox Akuma because he does like the boyfriend experience things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I guess I haven't seen enough of his content to know about that.
I only dabble.
Well, I mean, to be fair, those Niji boys are fun to watch, especially Vox. I mean, recently he's been giving like a lot of interesting information, especially on relationships, but more specifically like parasocial relationships. I feel like that's been something that's really talked about lately, especially the VTubing community.
It can be very dark. It can be very. It's something that does need to be talked about more often, especially with VTubers, because there were people that, when I was doing like my past stream life, for example, but still as a VTuber, people were getting very attached to me. Like they wanted to be by the hip more than I would be trying to be attached to my own wife.
And I imagine that creates a conflicting dynamic that is really hard to deal with.
It does.
So then how do you as a somebody who is in a committed relationship, you know, who openly talks about it, how do you manage that without making chat feel like a third wheel?
So the way that I play around it is if she comes in, she'll normally try to bounce off of chat or something. And most of the time she's like in and out for like 2 seconds here or there, go grab some snacks, because the studio room is the kitchen. So, you know, you're going to grab some fries or cheese sticks, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so she'll try to play around with a few people, but then like if they're trying to get her attention, they're not going to. So I have to bounce it off. So like I can mimic her voice kind of well.
Oh.
And so sometimes I can mess with them and be like, well, it's time for Peanut stream.
Oh my goodness.
It's time for Peanut's debut, and everything's going to be fine. That's obviously not her, but
Yeah. So then, have you ever gotten your chat with, you know, doing your impression?
So, I actually did on this account, but I took the VOD down very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I did an 1.5-hour stream as Peanut doing her debut for her.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what that was like.
Like, I made her a PNG, I made her assets, I made everything for her.
And did it go well?
And oh, it was the worst stream I've ever done.
Oh my goodness.
But it was so funny.
And so what happened to that debut stream? Like, you just
Oh, I deleted it. Never to be seen again.
never to be talked about?
Never to be seen again. Never to be talked about again. I still have all her assets.
So it was essentially redacted.
Yes.
Well, I guess it's one of those things where it actually doubles back to what our previous guest on Sunday, Joey D. King, talked about, where sometimes some like doing art for art's sake is something that is important to remember and keep in mind, because when you are in a performing, so to speak, you can have a VOD, you know, for somebody to watch, but it's nothing compared to actually being there in the moment, you know, because once that moment's gone, you can't go back to it. Yeah, you can look on it, you can watch a VOD or, you know, previous video to just, you know, reminisce, but you're never going to be there again. And so I feel like for those who were there during that VOD or there during that stream, I feel like they have the unique experience for like remembering all of that.
Pretty much right on a nail there.
So
I mean, if you're not there to interact, what are you gonna do? Just say hi in a YouTube comment and then just disappear for like 4 months?
well, I mean, some people do that.
It doesn't entirely surprise me.
So, but going on to a follow-up, because we're talking about, you know, you following that beat of your own drum to your stream. Do you think VTubers should remain true to themselves, or do you think a persona is necessary? Because if you look at, and this could apply to streaming as a whole, this, you know,
Right.
if you look at somebody who, like, comparing it, I want to say, was it Tyler One? Most known as the guy who screams on stream and rips his shirt, you know, or Dr. Disrespect. That's a persona.
Right.
That is a persona you see that is different from who he is, versus somebody like XQC or somebody like Charlie, you know, Moist Critical. You know, those are them. They're uniquely them. Yeah, performance art is performance art at its finest. Yeah, Joey, I completely agree. So then, do you think that VTubers specifically should remain who they are, or do you think maybe it's easier to set up a persona that way, you know, kind of separates the art from the artist?
So, I think that is also a case-by-case issue. So, like, persona I could see for people who, how do I say this, quote-unquote personality of a cardboard. So, like, their personal selves, they don't know what they want to do with themselves. They don't know what their best strengths are. Well, if you have a persona you can go off of, you can work with that. And then you don't have to think about it as much. But for someone, like, who has more personality than probably anything else, then yeah, it's more probable to just be yourself, because then you're not stressing about it. I actually tried this before as an experiment. I had my brother try VTubing, and he tried a persona, but he has a personality.
Yeah.
And it just drove him out the wall. He was done in 45 minutes, like, I am never touching this again.
Oh dear.
So I feel like it is definitely a case by case with touching upon really how do you feel comfortably with yourself.
So that kind of makes me think of a follow-up question of, should people kind of go into it with the expectation that they need to have some um, more than average communication skills to be able to like prepare themselves for it? Because if you kind of like a question, I browse Twitter or I browse Reddit a lot, and one of the things I follow is there r/virtual YouTubers
Right.
subreddit, and something that somebody brought up is that they have some mental health diagnosis where it's hard for them to smile or express happiness in normal ways. And because they posted a question on it saying, how can I do this? I want to be a VTuber, but I'm afraid it'll be a little difficult for me because I don't smile. And so going on a case-by-case basis, I can only imagine how difficult it must be for some people who, realize you kind of have to have that above average communication level where, because like, with you and I right now, like for me, I'm an extroverted guy, so talking to new people and, being like that, it's not hard for me. But I know for some people, it can be sickening.
The most tiring thing in the world.
Yes, it can be tiring, it can be nauseating, it can be terrifying to do it.
Right. Like, I would say my wife is actually a very good example at this. I was doing a collaboration stream with Sundari May, and her husband was on, and I had my wife on. We were playing, what was it? Overcooked 2.
Ooh,
my wife ended up getting nauseous, actually getting sick, and was just done with people for 3 days after a 6-hour stream.
Oof.
So it is completely the case of, hey, introvert, extrovert, what do you know that you're comfortable with? But for streaming in general, I feel like it is a little bit harder for introverts. Because, like for myself, I'm a tiny bit of one. And I will get tired of streaming if, like, I've done a bunch of interaction with people beforehand doing my job, or if I've done too long of a stream and then my social battery gets down because a lot of people are trying to talk to me or get my attention. So, again, I feel like people need to know their own boundaries with how extroverted they are, how introverted they are, and it will help them immensely with streaming or getting to know people.
I think you offer really good insights into that. Welcome, Nina.
Yes, actually, she's the one that wrote my lore.
I was just about to say. So you're the one who appeared in stream and offered him 3 pages of lore saying, here is your history. I commend you greatly for that. Right, I'm not a good author, I'm not a good writer. So,
Oh, after this, she'll probably have another page.
Oh my goodness.
I would not be surprised. Girly Pops, yes.
So, but talking about the extrovertedness of that, the longest stream I've done so far is a 4-hour stream, and that's because currently I'm not striving for anything longer than I think the max I want to do is 4 hours. Because if you look at the given my schedule, I'm a university student and I'm working a full-time job, so having to manage this in with it. But there are times where even sometimes as an extrovert, 2-hour streams, which is what I try and do, is 2 hours at minimum, can feel like a little bit of a slog. And it drains you so much. And there are other days where I'm like, yeah, I could go for way longer than this, but I know I should stop because I also have to get to bed in an hour. So, to get that 8 hours of sleep. So, something I feel like should be talked about a little more is if one is going to stream, they should be a little prepared to, manage and handle those expectations with, some form of realism. Because to somebody who's like, I'm going to stream every day for, I'm going to stream, maybe 5 days a week, 8-hour streams, and they've never streamed before, they don't have a following, and so they yeah.
I love the enthusiasm, but I gotta be honest. I see those people. I see what they want to do. I fully commend them for it.
Yeah.
But they burn out faster than a matchstick, I swear. Oh. And some of them have promise too, where it's like, oh hey, you seem really cool and you seem like you would actually pop off and do cool stuff. If you didn't, like, just off yourself onto a couch for 4 days because you streamed for 7 weeks straight.
It's certainly a delicate balance where, if you don't have a full-time job, or even if you do, because I've talked about this a little in the past, of how there was this, or like on stream, where there was this guy I knew who worked a full-time job, and then when he got home, he would stream Fortnite, because that was when Fortnite was big. He would stream for 6 to 8 hours at a time, maybe like 4 to 6 days out of the week. And so you kind of see all of that, and it's just, he experienced little growth, but he just kept pushing himself to the point where he's like, he can't do it anymore.
No, it's really difficult. I honestly experienced the same thing when I was working a 50, 60 hour a week job, and then I was trying to do 4-hour streams twice a week. And so, like, I would be out from like 6 a.m. I wouldn't get home until probably like 8 to 9 p.m. And then I'd be like, well, I'm going to go stream for like 3-4 hours, get 3 hours of sleep, do the same thing over again. So and it is brutal.
So that kind of actually follows up into the question I have of, because say you stay on that grind, say you're dedicated, you're making this happen, and you start to experience, you start to see growth. How can someone stay true to who they are as they grow and develop a community, or could that community influence that growth in that stream? Where you start out, like, imagine yourself right now, because you're at about your affiliate now, you have access to things that, somebody who's not an affiliate doesn't have, and you're starting to experience more growth. And imagine over time, you notice that your community wants to see something different. So do you think that, or how can you stay true as you develop this, and could that community ultimately influence how you change yourself?
So I think it depends on the level of how you accept your community, because I've seen people where they have a community, yes, they have like 400 followers, 500 followers, but yet they seem stagnant because they're not open to changes from the community. So since I've known someone who has been like that, they've been streaming for 5 years now, and they are actually stuck at like 350 followers. And they're not growing at all, but they're still grinding like every other day. I realized that being more open to your community and accepting changes or accepting ideas, talking through them with them, oh hey, maybe there's a hardware change, maybe there's a different asset we could try, maybe we just want to try a different game or say hi to someone. Absolutely accept anything you can get to help or talk with other people.
So what you're saying is that growth is, it puts you at the middle, like a fork in the road, where you kind of decide, do I keep sticking with what I need to do, or do I just, I experiment a little, do I push what I can do? Because actually fairly recently, with a lot of the Niji Sanji things that have been happening, especially with the Indonesian talents, some people have been putting up good discussions that, some of the talents that have been graduating, while they have not been experiencing a whole lot of growth, and they've actually been diminishing since they debuted. And so it leads one to ask the question, well, what were in their position, because they're corporate and they kind of have that established following once you start. Because like if you're corporate, you can expect about 100,000 people following you,
like right off the bat.
Off the bat. You know, when I say 100,000, I'm talking about something like YouTube, not like Twitch. But even then, because I
like recently, what was it? Matara Khan just debuted, and she's literally at like already 200,000 as a good example.
Let's see. So new Niji Sanji members. Let's take a look. So they announced 3 new male talents.
Since when they do that?
That was back in June.
Oh, okay.
So
this is the first I'm hearing about it.
So if we look at, say, Narissa Ravencroft, you know, she's I want to say she debuted a couple like a
month
ago,
or 2 ago,
and she's at,
I want to say,
250,000 subscribers on YouTube. The Hero
I would
Boys,
say that it helps that she puts out some good bangers, some good music.
What are the Hero Boys, Nina?
I'm assuming she's talking about the 3 ninja boys you were talking about.
Oh, is that what they're... So let's see. Vesalius Bandage, Vantacrow Bringer, and UQ. Oh, UQ Wilson. That's an interesting name.
Interesting.
But if we look at... So if we look at Niji Sanji debut numbers, I wonder if that's something we can take a look at. They're heroes, kind of.
Yeah.
So let's see. Regardless, though, you know, if you're corporate, then you're kind of starting out on a higher playing field. But because of that, you know, if you start to diminish in that audience and that size, you kind of ultimately have to think, do I need to keep doing what I'm doing, or do I have to adapt and to change? And so it completely changes how you view your streaming career and how you view your audience. What do you think?
The way you... So you're asking me how your opinion changes on your audience, or how you view your audience based on numbers or something?
Yeah, like how... Because you have, at a certain point, you'll experience continuous growth, or you will experience stagnation. And either way, you kind of have to come to that fork in the road of, I'm growing or I'm losing audience. Do I continue on the path that I am, or do I change to see if I can, you know, make it better?
I've actually seen this a lot with like streamers who stick to primarily only one game. And if it's like already a couple-year-old game, great. If it's still popular like an MMO, you may still get people in, but it's not as likely that you would anyone else. So really, I would say, if you have not like changed models or changed games or specifically anything like that for a very long time, I would say over a full 1.5 years would be the longest that would be even tolerable. Because the VTubing space moves so quickly that even the idea of something staying over a 6-month period now is crazy. Like, there are some people that I've seen like pop out new assets like nothing. So it's like, you gotta constantly be able to change, or be willing to be like, hey, let me change this up, but I'm gonna take like a couple weeks to do it.
So it's kind of being transparent with the community and saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna try something new, please bear with me, and if it doesn't work out, I will change it. But if it's good, let's kind of keep on this momentum and see what'll happen. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be open for that. Absolutely.
So then how can someone stay true to themselves in that process, you know, because again, doubling back to this question, you know, how do you stay who you are without, you know, becoming somebody else? That's not who you are. That's not who you are when you started streaming. You've evolved, you've changed. That's okay, because change is okay. But I just know for some people who it can be a little bit of like whiplash, you know, seeing something that's not what they're used to expecting. So what do you think on that?
For example, if I was to stay true to myself, I'd be still the humorous person. But if I wanted to change something, maybe it would be how much of a gremlin I can become. Or I know something that would be of a whiplash to my community, for example, is, you know, some people get excessively, like, I'm just going to say it straight up, horny.
Horny on main?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of a whiplash, because I've established my community to be more of a say-so community, or like a community that wants to work together. Yeah, I discussed Nina with even the idea of doing that. So,
of course.
It's okay. I tortured her once or twice. Just thinking, maybe I could pull this off for 2 minutes and make her scream on the inside.
Interesting.
It did not go well.
So, I guess we should ask the inverse of that as well, because, you know, talking about the streamer, then what happens if your community changes, where it's no longer the community that you started out with? Or say, for instance, you start out with a say-so community, and all of a sudden, virtually everyone there is horny on main. How do you deal with that?
So that's something where I think it comes down to, I don't believe, how do I word this? I've seen someone try to wrangle them in, and if it is truly like a horny on main community that it's developed into, I don't think you're ever going to wrangle it out completely.
So you just
there will always be. So it's not going to be a VTuber being able to put their foot down or get their moderators to put their foot down, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's mainly just at that point, it's either you choose to damage control and try to ignore it or keep going with the wholesome, or you delve right into it.
So it's kind of it's like an all or nothing principle, where you just, if it happens, you're just like, you know, nope, I'm just going to kind of push it a little bit away. I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. And if, you know, if there are outliers that aren't part of the bigger whole, you know, I'll give them a little more attention because they're not horny. Or you just completely say, you know what, maybe I don't want to be the hero. Maybe I want to be the villain. And they do a double front flip gainer into a swan dive of a pool of horny. And you decide, I'm going to embrace it.
Yes. That honestly sounds about correct for a couple people I know.
So then, if I may, how is it working out for them if that's kind of the route they're choosing? Are they happy with the choices they've made?
So for those people that I do know it is working out primarily for them, I don't think it would work for me. But for them, their style works more for horny on main kind of stuff. So it attracts more of the audience they want in the first place. So
Nina, sometimes, since this is over a Discord call, sometimes the audio gets a little...
I am robot.
Yep, the audio gets a little bit robotic, but it should sort itself out. I have to bring that up every time. So that's a Discord issue, but it's the easiest thing that allows me to put the least amount of stress on the guest while still maintaining, you know, good quality. So yeah.
Yes, we're gonna do like 3 separate phone calls all at once, and then we're gonna use them with separate tech and like a whole XLR setup. Yes, that's perfect, and everyone needs to buy like a $600 thing to be a guest.
I'm sorry you got jump scared.
It's okay.
You know, for $600, you could actually get a pretty good microphone setup. Spend $200.
I could.
Huh?
I could actually probably fix my computer at that point.
Yeah, if $600 is your budget for a microphone, well, guess what? You could spend probably spend about $400 if you want on the microphone, which for $400 you could get the Shure SM7B. Hello, Mr. Toby Red. Welcome. It looks like your followers and your fans are coming to support you, which please do support away. This is too.
Yes, get this guy to affiliate so I can give him crap later.
No, you don't need to do that. I want to earn it on my own.
No, we shall make this terrible for him.
Please. Oh my.
All my following, bow down and kill this man. I mean, sacrifice him to the gods.
Is that just the same thing? No, Mr. Toby. Stop. My goodness.
This is for our Lord and Savior, the Scout Rifle.
Mass report.
Let's go.
My gosh. So then what I need to do is I need to, because that's one of my hopes with this show, is I really hope that I can have people from my community really support, you know, every guest who comes on here. Cancel Valentine. Wait, hold on. Actually, you know what? You know, I'm gonna do something because I think this is what it feels like right now. He's gonna go a little bit over here.
Boy.
And because I'm starting to detect the thing, so I'm gonna go down here. Oh wait, I need to adjust this. You guys asked for this. Oh no, my body. You guys asked for this. Alright. Where are you?
Nowhere and everywhere at once.
So it looks like this is kind of what this has turned into because of all of you. It looks like Rin is the one running the show here.
It's perfectly fine. So do you want to tell us about your hottest food take that'll get you canceled on Twitter tonight?
Fettuccine Alfredo is the best pasta. Don't at me at that. Fettuccine is the best pasta. Not only that, I don't care what anybody says. Thick sauce for fettuccine is the perfect way to enjoy it. None of this runny soup stuff. We don't have runny soupy pasta fettuccine. So
that wasn't even that hot of a take, but I'll take it, I guess.
Val not facing Rynthio. Oh my gosh. I honestly don't mind doing the rest of the interview like this. Hold on.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Look up to you, Dad. Oh my gosh.
It's okay, we were always ashamed of you, son.
Oh no, I got smaller! Help! Please! Oh my gosh, okay. Alright.
Hot rods with vanilla yogurt? What? Nina, what?
Alright, so we'll just do that. Go out a little bit. I don't mind doing this, like, for the rest of the stream. We just do this. You ready? Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh, my model's dead.
There we go.
Hold up.
Oh, you see what you... I hope you're happy, Rin. You see what happened? You crashed you crashed your model, and then now you took over my show.
What can I say but you're welcome?
I hope you're happy. Interviewer mode on. Used to have hot. Oh, I see. Oh my
It's
goodness.
okay. Nina's also the person that likes to chew on plastic, so we don't take her food choices very seriously.
Are we interviewing the chat now?
I don't know what's going on anymore, but
So, Nina, is it true you're chewing plastic based on what Rin said?
I mean, she told me before that she used to, I believe, bite on glass when she was younger, and yeah, likes to chew on metal. There was a running joke for a while where we saw one of her charger cords for her phone, and it was completely like ripped apart, and we were like, Nina, stop. The charger is not the juicy. It's not the juicy.
Nina, please don't. It's not worth it.
Shocky.
So yeah, I don't mind continuing the interview like this. I feel like it'd be kind of funny. Oh my goodness.
I don't expect anything less.
Well, I encourage anyone here who is a follower of mine, please follow Rin. Support Rin. Rin is a treasure. If I had it, I'd have like, that's what I need. Is an animated like the hand petting thing.
Peel battery? Why'd you never tell me about that? What?
How else are you supposed how else are you supposed to get to the liquid inside to drink? So anywho, we got so unhinged and off the rails here with this interview. Like, oh my goodness. I wish somebody could have clipped it because it was chaos.
Oh, this whole thing needs to get edited and put up.
Don't worry.
Just saying.
Don't worry. For anybody who wants to watch this later, I upload all of it. I didn't lick the liquid, luckily.
It's okay. You didn't lick it. You consumed the whole thing at once.
Yes. If I just swallow the entire glow stick, the neon and the fluorine inside of it will just pass straight through. Val, what kind of bat? What kind of bat am I? So I am a vampire bat. And I have poor eyesight, hence why I wear glasses. I'm also colorblind, but not like black and white colorblind. It's just normal colorblind. But yeah, no, I'm a vampire bat. Wait a minute, this isn't my interview. This is Rin's interview.
I flipped it on its lid.
You can't ask me questions. That's not how this works.
What is the answer to life's questions in all of the universe?
The answer, you hooch chocolate milk.
No, it's 42.
I assumed you were a fruit bat. No, because I got, wait, I got the little teefies. You can't really see it, but I got the teefies.
It's kind of hard to do the teefies on Vroid, so.
Yeah. But you tease, what you tease.
The most dangerous people use that phrase all the time.
Well, I was actually having a discussion with somebody about this sugar or salt or spice. Whoa.
And everything nice. And this was the secret ingredient to the Powerpuff Girls.
But I had a conversation with somebody about this where like the phrase "it is what it is" like feels like such a prevalent band-aid statement if anything goes wrong, because if you say, oh man, you know, I slept in late and I was late to work, or you know, I failed this test, and if somebody says it is what it is, you just kind of sit there like, you know, it really is. Or you say, it do be like that, you know, just like,
yeah,
man, my car's not starting. You know, just like, it do be like that sometimes. It really do. And so
it do be like that on this bitch of a nerf.
It really do. See, look, see, right there. I mean, that was an unconscious thing for me to say right now.
Oh man, I got hit by a car. It is what it is. Oh man, the $3,600 medical bill for getting hit by a car. It is what it is.
C'est la vie if you're fancy. That is life. So here's another phrase which I will type in chat. C'est que c'est. C'est que c'est literally translates to "it is what it is" in French. It could also be translated as "that is what that is," but you know, because it can be used as either you're in Canada, you have no medical bills, common America L.
Ow.
Sorry, I'll take my hold on. I gotta see how much this is. Hold on. How much is an American ambulance ride?
Oh, you don't even want to know. I've seen someone who had, like, they lost their finger in, like, a forklift accident.
Uh-huh.
And they said, screw it. Screw everything else. I'm not paying that. They ended up covering it up, put, like, a hair tie around it, drove themselves over, and said, nah, I got this, boss. You don't have to ask for me. I'm going.
America, am I right? So the average coverage for an advanced life support ambulance ALS is $1,200, and basic life support is $940. But you can pay considerably more or less depending on the state or even the part of the state you live in. It's not just the ambulance fee that varies, but also the mileage. So you're telling me I'm paying for gas as well?
Yep.
So how much is it without
And
insurance? Oh.
And you know, that bitch takes diesel, so you know that shit's like $7 a gallon?
My goodness.
Yeah, I want to scream.
I'd say sheesh if it weren't so bad. Let's see. I almost got hit by a police car near my school like this month. Oh no! See,
it's okay. That's not the first time it's happened.
So here's a fun fact. When I was in high school, when I was a freshman, we had this guy, which to hide his name, we'll just call him Derek. Actually, we'll just call him Greg.
Yeah.
We'll call him Greg, because Greg is a running name on this channel. So Greg, really cool guy, funny, popular guy. First day of school, my man was walking across the crosswalk to school. He gets hit by a car. I'm choking on my spit. He gets hit by a car and breaks both of his legs.
Love it.
And he's chipper about it. He's like, "Oh man, this sucks." And so he goes in the ambulance, and so he's then in a cast, like a double leg cast for the rest of the school year. He finally gets out of it. You know, everything's all good. Sophomore year goes by fine. Junior year goes by fine. Senior year, the last day of school, he's walking outside. I can hear him saying F the school while flipping it off, walking across the crosswalk. And as he turns around, bam, he gets hit by a car again. I kid you not. I kid you not. The man just got...
Oh, I love that.
The man got hit by a car the first day of high school, and he got hit by a car the last day of high school. I'm surprised he didn't get isekai'd.
Yes, truck-kun.
Like, holy cow. As an American, oof, I've been to the hospital 6 times for anaphylaxis. Oh, anaphylaxis. Jeez, that can't be good. I mean, you know, Robe, I'm sorry. That's America. I wish we had a better way for medical stuff. But I know sometimes when we talk about universal healthcare, some people get a little heated in that topic, in that debate. So
yeah, so we'll avoid that.
We'll avoid that. But we can keep talking about the guy who got hit by a car twice. So, oh my goodness. But yeah,
it's okay. I ended up having to go to the hospital for car stuff anyways, because I know the feeling of that, of having to be picked up after sitting there a while with like the injury and being like, well, this is gonna be expensive.
Yeah, like so I used to work way back when I used to work for a third-party moving company where one of the things we do is we crate up objects. So like think like vases, statues, paintings. You know, we'd put them in a wooden crate, box it up. That way, you know, it won't move, it won't get damaged during the transit. And we use nail guns, pressurized nail guns.
Love them.
To drive these pieces of wood together. Now, I remember one time I was working with my boss, and as he's doing this, he shoots at the nail gun, and it bends because there was a knot in the wood he didn't see. And if you don't know anything about nail guns, or nails in general, you always need to be on the lookout to make sure you don't drive the nail in along a knot, which is, you know, like that little spiral piece you see in wood. And you don't want to do that, because if you do that, it'll bend and wrap around. So that's what happened. And he fired that. It wrapped around that and shot out. It went straight into his thumb. Now, the reason why I say this is because this man, he was in pain, but the man pulled out the nail, took out a paper towel, wrapped his thumb around it, took some electrical tape, wrapped it around, and says, okay, that's good. Time to get back to work. I'm like, you need to go to the hospital. You just shot yourself. And he's like, he's just like, you know, don't worry about it. Are your memories in an art studio or museum? Why do you ask?
Oh, jeez.
This sounds like the beginning to a pickup line. And so he takes these, just takes it, just like, yeah, no. And the woman who was there just saw him and said, are you okay? You know, you can leave if you need to, because of the woman who's contracting him out. And she's like, oh, no, that's fine. Do you just have any ice? You know, or the people you know insane.
This is the most true statement I think she said all week.
I mean, recently I worked with for the current company I work for, one of the guys got his foot crushed by a scissor lift, and he, like, because he was laughing at a joke somebody said, and the forklift, the scissor lift went right over his foot and crushed his foot, and he was still laughing. And like, and then he knew his foot was crushed, and so then he was taken to the hospital, and he comes back, and the thing is, he's just like, oh yeah, no, my foot's it feels okay, you know. And so he recently got out of the boot instead of the cast. But the thing is, welcome Rynthio, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
Yeah.
And so as that happened,
sorry, go on ahead.
Also, context for why I asked that is because I want to see if I should write Rynthio's lore memories as a museum or a studio. I see.
I told you she'd have like another page.
Toby, you flipped on your head 3 times yesterday. What happened?
Oh yeah, he told me he went like over every single like MTB trail around his local area and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna crack the frame of the bike, I'm gonna land on my head, I'm gonna screw everything up, but still have a good time, man. Screw everything. Yeah.
That is keyword nearly.
Nearly.
Well, to finish the story on that guy who got his foot crushed, he does not have to do surgery. He doesn't have to do anything. I think it was a hairline fracture. And that was it.
That was all he got?
People in my life are just built different, I suppose.
I guess so.
I don't know what to tell you. But probably going too soon again. Well,
I'll send a letter at the hospital.
Yeah. So why don't we get back? Let me
I was gonna say, we've been on like a rant for like, what, half hour?
Let's not do that, Toby.
This seems very Toby-esque.
You don't see this? You don't see this? Oh, he's behind me now.
Ooh. No, I kid.
What? We're not moving around right now. What is going on?
Nope.
Ready? Ooh.
All right.
Back to my profile view. Oh my.
Couldn't be me.
There we go. This will never be a polished stream. I don't know what to tell you. If you come here for polishness, I like to showcase all of the behind the scenes stuff, because guess what? Nobody's perfect. That's the name of the suicide is the name of the trick.
Yeah. I was waiting for that. I was like, is he gonna catch on?
I got a figure a few days ago. What kind of figure, Nina, did you get?
Lies, this is adorable.
Aw, thank you,
No,
Rob.
You're adorable. Everyone's adorable.
Well, thank you for that. Now, what do you say we get back on... Also, Nina, what figure did you get? And for you, Rin, why don't we get back on track with asking you some good questions. So, I also have to... Somebody sent me an important message, but let me ask you the next question, because we're talking about pardon me, we're talking about communities and how they evolve and how they change.
Right.
Because I think if I remember, we're talking about how you're an amazing employee. Oh, I see. Just don't tell anybody. Tell them you're.
Just sit in the back. Just hang out. It's fine.
Yeah.
See, this is how my stream normally goes: is you just get sidetracked by chat, and then you lose track of whatever the hell you were doing in the first place. And now it's like 45 minutes later, and you're like, "What were we doing?"
Yeah. I mean, it happens. I mean, when I used to work. Oh my goodness, I can't type. I used to work for a company. How would I word this? Oh, the supervisors don't care. Oh, I'm sorry. What is that? Search up by Shoujo
Oh, I've
Princess
got
Luna.
it.
What is this?
Interesting.
Oh, is
My
it Sailor
people are
Moon?
very
Sorry.
My people are very interesting.
Oh! Oh, it's a My Little Pony one. Dang,
Yeah.
That is what the that is a really good looking figure. And they have a Princess Celestia one to complement it. I'm not a brony, guys. I have
Valentine brony confirmed.
No! I have a niece that's very into it.
Doxed, he's old. He can't be a
Doxed, he's
VTuber
old.
now.
Well, so I almost bought, I think it was $150. I almost bought a limited edition 1997 Berserk figure.
Oh, that would have been sick.
But I chose not to because that would have cost a lot of money.
You know what I've actually been trying to get on the hunt for?
Bat ponies? No. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Red?
So, are you familiar with the film Akira from like 97?
Oh, of course I am. It's classic. I have a poster of it sitting in my living room.
Perfect. So, there is a model of the red motorcycle that is actually, you can build it from scratch. That's like $175, and I've been hunting for that because it's been discontinued for like 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, just the cultural impact of Akira, it's just, I can imagine having this. That'd be such a cool figure to have. I mean, the only time I've seen really one is on the Trash Taste podcast, where they actually have one of him doing the slide, which is super cool.
Right. So, and it's just like, why can't we have this again? This is so cool.
So I'm currently content with the figures that I have, because I have quite a few. I recently got a Jet figure from Cowboy Bebop. So
I need to watch that again.
Yeah.
But every time I tell myself I'm gonna watch it again, I watch it, and then I tell myself I need to watch it again in a week.
They made an It figure? Interesting. That's super cool. So, back on, because it appears we both love getting off track.
Yeah, so like we're 3/4 of the way through the show, and we're like, yes, we'll finally get to what we might have planned for like 25 minutes in.
Well, so then we'll go on to our next series of questions, because this is, I think, a really cool one, really important one to talk about. So,
yeah.
Now that let's all take a deep breath. Chat, take a deep breath. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. All right. We both love getting off track. Thank you, Robe. You know what would make this even better, Robe, if we talked about Terraria?
I actually have not played that yet.
Oh no. Oh no.
I actually just got Stardew Valley, just got Terraria.
Oh, You saying
just finally touching these things.
you saying you've never played Terraria? Robe has that activate. That's like a button that activates something in him.
Ain't no way. Yes way. Like I've launched, waiting for some more.
So let's all
Shame.
let's all take a deep breath in. Ready? Breathe through the mouth. Wait, breathe through the nose. Out through the mouth. All right. Without saying the F word. So I'm gonna take one more deep breath in. All right, we good? Are we good, Rin?
I'm not getting blue in the face. Okay, we're good.
Freak. Jeez, Nina. It do be like
It's
that
okay.
sometimes.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You can fish for Joja Cola in Terraria and get a pet. Junimo, what is that? I'm saying words that I don't know, and I'm scared.
So pretty much anytime I talk about
Next
thing we need. I've played 15 minutes of Minecraft. That's it.
we gotta
So I
change
can
that.
say I've played it.
We gotta change that. So we'll collab in the future. We'll set up a collab and we'll get you to play. We will stream together Terraria. You still need to buy Minecraft.
I played the demo version when it was available.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Actually, ooh.
that'll be a question later. But as for now, my gosh,
Oh my
it's
God.
becoming a Minecraft. Oh my goodness. All right.
I expect nothing less.
Why don't we double back to the Minecraft talk later? Rin, we need to get you some help. Val will be good for you. They want you to play Terraria and Minecraft. The community has
Oh
spoken.
man,
Aw,
I
thanks,
can't play
Toby,
weird
I
games
appreciate
like
it.
Axiom Verge.
Tons of copium in this economy. Oh no, I hit something. Oh no. So now my model is experiencing. Okay, we're back. Kill you all. Okay, so you didn't debut with a model, or you didn't debut with your model, meaning because you talked about earlier that you streamed in the past. So how did you choose to start? Like, what made you decide to become a VTuber? And yeah, let's start with that. What made you decide to become a VTuber, considering you streamed in the past?
So this is going to sound probably insane, but I streamed actually as regular, like, flesh tuber. I know, a crazy thing, a fleshy.
Flesh tuber?
Yes, a fleshy. How dare!
Toby says.
Toby was around for that.
Toby's commenting on your webcam. L webcam.
But I did that for like off on like 3-4 years, and I never hit affiliate. Like, I had like 70 followers. I could never get more than 0.7 concurrent viewers, and so I was like, no, what? Stop it. And so I decided, hey, I really like VTubers. I really like the content they put on, everything. And so, you know what? Screw it. I'll try it. So I did actually what you did. I did a whole Vroid setup. I tried doing my own assets from that, which I wasn't very good at the time. And so I did VTubing with 3Dimensional for about 6 to 8 months. And still not affiliate, even doing anything like that. I was doing different content. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff.
And so go ahead.
Here we are.
So do you regret your decision at all, or do you think that this is just, you can feel more comfortable in your own, oh my gosh, all of my panels are being dumb? So do you think that, because I'd say it kind of seems like you made a good decision. You seem content with that.
Yeah, I was running my PC down doing the 3Dimensional stuff, so I was always trying to try out new things. And so it was either give up 3-dimensional and try 2-dimensional, which ended up working, or upgrade my computer. I ended up doing both.
So it became one of those things where you're like, I have the capabilities, I might as well give it a try.
Exactly. And then I was like, well, here's these pre-made models on Booth. Let me try that out. Oh, VTube Studios on Steam. Okay, that makes it easy. And it's just really a matter of, it took the time and learning the software, and now here we are. Booth coming in clutch. Booth has been amazing. I will not lie, like Booth is amazing for smaller VTubers.
Oh yeah. Well, and not only that, like with making my model, because I'm of the opinion personality triumphs quality in equipment.
Right.
Because if you are someone who's approachable, who's likable, where you have the personality to come and present yourself to anybody, you know, I feel like the last thing people are going to talk about is, oh, his microphone was not good, or his model was just a default model in VRoid Studio. So, you know.
Right. Like, I will be completely honest, the model you see here was literally a free one off of Booth. I did not make this one.
But it's a good one. It's so, and that, not only that, it's whatever you make of it too.
Right. So it's like, I've seen many people use like a basic, ready to go,
thank you,
free
Nina,
Booth model, and so many people have just been like, they can still grow with that.
Mm-hmm. Because the thing is, that's one of my favorite things about streaming, is that it's not exclusive to equipment or models or anything. There's so many free things you can do, because if you have the same 10 people running around with the same model, they're all different. And so if you set yourself apart and you know, you grow, you'll get that audience, and if you're passionate, you know, save a little money, or you end up making money off of Twitch, well, then suddenly you can now afford it, and that just makes when you get something new, all the more fun to reveal.
Right. So then that was kind of something I was thinking about, was like, oh, I have all these free things, but it's like, oh, what if after I hit affiliate, but I can use affiliate to help me get new assets, get new models, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just investing more in the stream by taking out of the stream, and it's a beautiful thing.
Well, it's not only that, it's also you're fostering this growth based on you and not what you have, because, you know, as you're saying before, this is one you got off Booth, but you're making it work, and you know, you hit affiliate with it, because when you talked about how you're streaming before and streaming for a little bit of time, you did not hit affiliate, but you put in the time. Yeah. Even with this free asset that you got from Booth, you were able to hit affiliate with this in much less time. So clearly it's a testament to your ability and your personality that people want to see. And so it's a very good example. You're a very good example of, they want to see you. They don't want to see what you have.
Right.
So, you know, and then, so then transitioning a little bit. So how did you just go into that without debuting? Because, you know, debuting is a big thing. And what was your first stream like?
So my first stream, actually, I remember it very clearly, because thankfully it wasn't that long ago. I remember just being like, well, it's not been that long since I was streaming on the last account. And Nina, why do you distract me?
I'm so glad you saw that.
But it hadn't been that long since I streamed on the last account I was on, which had to be taken down because someone hacked the email that was linked to it.
Oh.
Yeah, love that. So it actually ended up forcing a rebrand. But a lot of the same people that were gonna come by and say hi anyways were people who already were watching me in the first place. So I was like, I don't really see a point of doing a debut. I don't see a point of holding out for months on end just to do a debut when I'm already ready to go. I already want to stream.
I mean, clearly it shows that, you know, your hard work is, people are seeing that and they realize that they'll follow you no matter what because they want that support. Well, let's read through these real quick. I just look at the tags to see femboy. I saw it too. I was like, I was shook. Val tends to attract other femboys. The fembat is a femboy magnet. We're just here to talk about Ryn's other name. What is going on?
This is normally how it goes for me. It's just chaos. Like, I try to be good about it. I try to have a nice stream, and then it's like, no, we will not.
They'll stay in the DMs. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so on a side note, so my first actual gaming stream, because I did a debut stream, but it was only 30 minutes. I did my debut stream, and then right after that, which is a Tuesday, I did my first gaming stream, which was Team Fortress 2. And when I did that, somebody kept calling me a femboy. I'm pretty sure that was the Phantom Fame, and my friend who was playing with me. And so as a joke, I remember why. It was because somebody had joined the TF2 stream and they said, I found you just because I saw one of your tags said femboy.
So now it's stuck.
Yeah,
perfect. Because
my friend who was playing with, he said, hey, apparently a lot of people play Team Fortress 2 stream with the femboy tag, so you should put that on there. I'm like, okay, I'll put that on there. That was the real reason. Sorry, that was the reason how that happened. Is my buddy who was playing with said, yeah, a lot of people who stream TF2 have the femboy tag, so maybe you should do that. I'm like, okay, and the rest is history. So that's a constant tag I have on my channel.
Love it.
So on occasion I may actually name drop Ryn, but I am trying hard to avoid it. It happens, you know. Just don't. And I say it like that because, I mean, obviously everyone here is doing so good at not doing that. Val's a fembat and Phantom's fembuff. Oh yeah, that's true. So after this stream, I'm going to go over the Phantom Fame stream, so I'll probably raid him. But everybody will see who I'm talking about. He's a very, very fun guy. I encourage everyone to support. But yeah, he's a Stardust statue. So yeah. Yes,
indeed.
So, as we're talking about debuts and we're talking about that, obviously we talked about corporate VTubers and how that's like becoming a standard of what debuts should be like, you know, because Gargora of Hololive has one of the most iconic debuts where she was live. Her model was there for 20 minutes. It did not move, and as soon as it started to move, her model didn't even show up for 20 minutes, and it finally got up working, and she just stands there for 5 minutes, just standing there, and she looks like this. She's just like, and then just nothing else, and it just crashed again. So, welcome, Apophis. Welcome. There is so much going on. So, this is my artist.
Oh boy.
So, I want to talk about that for just a moment. You see that cyberpunk poster back there? Apophis is the one who made that.
So I will need to hit them up later.
They make really good art. If anybody wants good art, like all of the assets you see here, he made. I love this Minecraft desk. You know, the window out there, he made. So if anybody wants to reach out, you know, he makes really good art. So anywho, I had to add that plugin. Because I love my artist. So, but yeah, so the corporate VTubers, you know, talking about that, it's super important, I guess, to the corporate world that you need to have a good debut to set up. So with all of that influence that happens, do you think debuts are necessary for someone who isn't a corporate VTuber? Because people sort of have this mindset that debuts need to go perfect. They need to have a lot of views, you know, whereas these corporate ones have like, you know, a couple thousand that are in there. So what do you think?
So for smaller VTubers, if they know for a fact that like either A, they rebranded like I did, or B, they know for a fact they want to get into VTubing, period, a debut is great. But for someone who is literally just playing around and being like, oh, I'm just fixing software, I'm figuring out assets as I'm going, etc., that is perfectly fine to go without a debut.
So
at least I feel like.
Do then, pardon me. So then, for somebody who doesn't want to do debut, how could one go about doing that? If that's the case, because you know, because what I've noticed, you know, Robe, yeah, debuts are nice, but networking can make far more of a difference. I agree, and we can actually talk about this.
110% it right there.
We can actually talk a little bit about that. Slay, little lad. We can actually talk about that just a little bit. Is that Twitter is a very big place with so many people, and there's, if you take a look at a lot of the things that people are doing, whether pre-debut, like they call it pre-debuting.
Pre-debuting, I have yet to hear about that.
And if you see that and you take a look at that, like so many people put so much time into networking, and it's scary. Yeah, like they put so much time into looking into growing their community on Twitter, which is how you kind of attract that audience. I mean, I'll say it, when I started my Twitter account in 2022, I did my best to try and garner as many people as I could to follow me. At the current junction in time, I have about 320 followers on Twitter. Now, bear in mind, I didn't start streaming until last month. And so in between, coincidentally, October of last year is when I started my Twitter account. Between October and August of this year, I stayed at about 300 followers. And that's because I stopped tweeting. I stopped doing any activity because I was just planning on everything else, you know, and I kind of dropped off a little bit. And then once I started up again, that's when I started to see actual growth on Twitter. So it's interesting when you look at all of these people who spend so much time on Twitter rallying behind growing that audience, only to not live up to that expectation that they see. Does that make sense?
Oh, there is one specific person I have in mind. Let's see. Can I call him out?
Bro, dropped off
Ace Tributon has been like garnering his following on Twitter for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
I've been like backlogging it, like looking back and seeing how long it's been. It's been over 6 months, and he's still labeled as pre-debut. And I'm like, that's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I hope they can, you know, at a certain point feel as though they don't need to just sit there and wait for so much to happen. Because at that point, if you are garnering that support, it sometimes becomes a little bit of a, are you just waiting for the right moment to do it? Or are you a little scared for it? Because when I'm gonna be a little bit honest here. This is probably the third revision I've had on my model. The third big revision I've had on my model, where the original looked nothing like this. And because I've been planning this all the way back in 2022. And with that, I was like, I had a debut date lined up actually in the start of this year, and I had a debut date lined up. But I backed out of it because I was scared. I was very nervous about what I wanted to do, and I'm like, am I really prepared? And as Hamilton's song says, wait for it. My VTuber was a fire and brimstone. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to get copied.
I need to watch that.
Hamilton's great. Thank you so much, Rob.
always trying to get me to listen to Hamilton or watch it. I'm like, okay, let's just sit down and watch it sometime.
When I was in high school, I was one of those people that listened to Hamilton a lot because Hamilton came out when I was in high school. So you know, I was one of those people that listened a lot, and I know every song and could sing every song to this day. It's a fire album. I wanted to just get that out and say, like, it's good music. So, but Toby brings up a good point, saying I'd say a few weeks, maybe 2 months is max for pre-debut. Any longer, and you're stringing it out too far. You know, that is a pretty good.
Seems pretty reasonable, yeah.
Because when I started doing all of my pre-debut stuff, I gave it a month. And what I did was I posted consistently on both Reddit and Twitter, where I did that almost every day, just interacting with people, growing. And, you know, that's what I think should happen if you're wanting to have a debut. Now, if you just want to start and you start to get into it, you kind of do how you want to do. But at least for me, that's what worked for me. Because I will say, rallying support on Twitter is a very good way to get all of that support, because if not, if you just debut on Twitter or on Twitch without any kind of like following, you're gonna kind of fall by the wayside. So it's 100% a networking thing.
And no. So I ended up, this is a weird way to put it. I ended up doing my pre-debut stuff like a week before I literally debuted.
Mm-hmm.
And for that first stream, I think I remember not even doing like any of my stream alerts. So like no Discord alerts, no Twitter alerts, no any social media alerts for that matter.
Yeah.
And it still got like 2 views. Okay, great. And from that point, I was like, hey, I feel comfortable. I've got the software down because I got this one done. And then it's like, oh, hey, now I'll start messing around with the social medias.
Well, and that's certainly really interesting to hear, because it's very rare with somebody if somebody has like no following, they don't build anything up beforehand. That's pretty impressive. You know, that comes right after. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
Let's love reading the chat. I'm having a late Hamilton fan. I really love the songs. And that's mainly for the girls, low-key.
I'm not surprised with Nina.
Hamilton's good. It's good music. It's the same with music artists, in my opinion. Like, sometimes I'll see a new artist and they'll show a snippet of a song and they'll just keep going off of that one snippet for like 6 months to a year. Yep, been there, done that. Got to affiliate star without building up sucks. It is certainly rough to get to that point. You know, trying to really build up to there. Also, a thought that I just had with Toby, a perfect example of that is Golden Hour by Jake. That's a perfect example, because the only reason I know about his song, there's a Death Note musical? I'm getting off track.
I'm sorry, what? I need to find this.
It's one of the musicals of all time. Alright, hold on. You see what you've done, Nina?
She does this to me all the time.
Death Note musical. So, Death Note the musical, this is a thing!
Please tell me I can watch the whole thing.
It's in the West End? No. No. The West End, that means it's in England.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to check this out. Alright, we'll check it out after stream. I'll check it out after stream.
Yeah, along with getting back through Ringo Starr's art.
Ooh. We hit that whiplash again. We're just woo.
It's okay. We'll get distracted, and then it'll be like the end of the interview, and then it'll be like, oh, we only talked about what we were actually planning for like 20 minutes.
Something like that. Let's see. If I go to, I know there's a Beetlejuice musical. It's very good. So if I actually go to because I'll reveal this right now. Man, you're bringing back Golden Hour. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'll finish that thought. So Golden Hour by Jake. was like, the only reason I knew about that song was because I was seeing so many posts and YouTube shorts about it where he was just playing that in so many different spots. You know, just like, I'm playing it for my old music teacher. I played it in the airport. I played it in a church. And so he's just playing the same song over and over again, just redoing it. And obviously he's got it. It worked. I've only got no golden hour because of VTuber covers. Oh, maybe one of these days I should do that. I should do a cover of Golden Hour. I'd blow up my vocal cords.
Trust me. Singing on the VTuber scene ain't what it used to be. Honey, get me an extra pack of cigarettes.
The sign of a good time, staying off track. But going
it's
back,
okay. That just means I'll have to come back like in a week or two.
But going back to the debut, mine was almost an hour long. It's 55 minutes. I had 2 average viewers. I had a max of 4 viewers. I had 5 unique viewers, 3 unique chatters, 7 live views, and only 1 follow. And this was after spending time and pushing like my presence on Twitter, on Reddit, you know. And so it also shows that not everything is going to, you know, not everything is going to work out no matter how much work you put into it.
Right.
But it's a good launching off and starting point, because if I didn't do that, I don't think I would have been able to have the courage to just all of a sudden start streaming. So therein lies kind of, you know, pros and cons of, you know, is debuting really what you want? Is debuting what you need? So kind of weighing that of, you know, there's so many things you could do in a debut, or you could just go straight into it, because sometimes people just don't like the filler. So, you know, it certainly depends.
Exactly.
Now,
but I feel like debut just kind of gives people like an idea of what to kind of expect, but also not entirely, because during a debut, a person can act differently because they're trying to show off or something, and that's not genuinely them or something else.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to the staying true to yourself thing that we talked about earlier. But moving, so kind of oh my gosh, I can speak. I noticed that a lot of the time TikTok is the best way to ever. Yeah, I apparently people have been really. I guess I need to start a TikTok and post clips. I'm not really good at posting clips.
Honestly, the easiest way, which is the way I do it, but it doesn't always work, is just go off of the best clip that someone's made of your stream, and then upload that. Yeah.
So, we talked about, and I think this may be one of the last questions I ask you, is we talked about your past streaming. How does past streaming affect people who choose to be VTubers?
So I feel like it either determines part of your community, like if your community finds you again through something else. So like you were a certain VTuber, but then you decided to start over again. Well, you lost part of that community, but some might have strangled all the way over, and they still know you. They still know your personality. So if it's a part of a personality, I don't feel like it'll be a problem. But if it's in the case of what we discussed earlier with like a persona, then I think it could be a whiplash for those kinds of people, and they wouldn't know, hey, is this the same streamer that I'm like? I lost my train of thought like halfway through.
That's okay. If you can think about that, I'll kind of jump in with that a little bit. Somebody who I know, that they kind of did that. Actually, we talked about it. They were on the show. They were my first guest, RU Prime, and he was talking about that of when he streamed before he became a VTuber, and you know, doing that, going into VTubing, it kind of feels like it opened up a little bit of a new avenue for him. So maybe sometimes I guess it can depend a little bit on, you know, your presence beforehand, and then, you know, how you're presenting yourself. Because for him, I don't think he streamed with a face cam. I think it was just audio. Yeah. And so I guess doing VTubing allows him to have a conduit to which the audience can see sort of a face to the voice. So, you know, did that at all happen? Because you said you streamed with a webcam. That
Yeah.
was it Toby or was it who was
Yeah,
it?
it was Toby.
Toby that called it crap. Now,
I'm not sure if I'm using the same one as I am from back then either.
oh,
I'm pretty sure it is the same one.
so, but with that is, since people know your face, because this is actually an interesting thing that I like thinking about, is if you streamed with your, you know, people know your face, what is a transition like that to you suddenly an animated anime model, you know, where you're no longer showing your face but people can still find you? It's kind of like with Jaden Animations on YouTube. You know, she made a VTuber model and she likes to stream with that. So, you know, but that's kind of the reason why a lot of people do VTubing, is that anonymity. So how does that kind of influence, you know, just you streaming, that piece, you know, certain people know your face, they know what you look like?
And to even add a kicker to this, before I even did streaming, I was actually doing really well on Instagram, doing pictures and whatnot, videos, and even like streaming, talking to viewers and whatnot over there as a fleshy, doing automotive stuff.
As a fleshy.
Yeah, I know. I kind of cringe, but so the transition from, oh hey, I'm doing live automotive content, to, oh hey, I'm a streamer, to, oh, I'm an anime boy, has been very intriguing. Kind of, if I try to condense it down to a single dot, even though it's been spread out over years, it can be very jarring. Since when the hell did you do live automotive? I'm sorry, when did... I'm going to scream inside, doo-dah, doo-dah.
Well, it you know, it do
I'm
be
a real anime boy.
you forgot the comma, so I think that'd be like, I'm a real anime boy now.
Oh, jeez.
Well, yeah. So that's just, so with that, with fleshy, no, we're not a flesh tuber. We're not gonna make that a thing unless it is already a thing. Then we're not.
It kind of is, but I was really big in that. And so going from giving up Instagram, where I had the community where I couldn't transfer any of that because those people knew my level of insanity, as well as my face. So I couldn't really transfer a lot of that over to streaming. So like, just like any other person, I basically had to start from scratch, even though I already had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toby, that's what I'm talking about.
So then, is that something you'd ever consider going back to? Because when I say going back to, I more mean like, for instance, because you talked about Onigiri.
Yeah.
Onigiri, for those who don't know, Onigiri is a bigger indie VTuber where she has a model, but she does a lot of on-camera stuff, specifically with her hands. She does a lot of cooking. So do you think maybe that's something you could possibly go back to, where, you know, you could do like automotive streams or something like that, where you have your model but you can work with your hands?
Looked at it, the only thing I think that is possible, the closest technology, the closest VTuber I've seen that has been able to get close to this is Fill-In.
Yes.
Where she can move around, she can do all the things she needs to, but a lot of her stuff is wired or like set up in a way that you can't move around as much as you need to where you need to in automotive. So like, I'm gonna have to dig my head into a tight space. Oh, a VR camera that's literally right in front of my eyes is not exactly gonna fit in there.
So it actually be one of those things where you kind of have a like your phone or something strapped to your chest. That way it's just pointing in one direction, but you just have it just shows your hands, like your actual hands. But it's not
the other thing I considered, but I don't know how viable it is. So I haven't dug into it yet.
So if you were the chat, so Toby was saying, I think it'd be fun for something every once in a while once you're bigger. You know, hands and boobs. Robe, you sly dog.
Just gotta slide one in every once in a while.
Like mostly normal streams and then the occasional cookie or automobile stream or something. You know, you can use a mic mount to do a GoPro. Oh yeah?
It's stuff I've considered, but I don't think is really viable until either I'm a little bigger or I have more like income flowing in.
Well, something, it's because it's interesting that you bring up Fillion, because something that I plan to do in the future, because I'm trying to save up money, I want to have it regardless. Boob-tuber, let's go! What are you talking about, our resident whale Bow, or perhaps you're talking about Shy Lily? You know, there's so many. Listen.
I have a reputation of thirst to uphold. It's okay. You and 90% of the other people on Twitter.
I knew I liked you, Robe. So, but my goal, because I just want to have a good VR setup in general, play VR games. I've actually researched and I'm hoping to get the same setup that Fillion has, which is, oh my goodness, it's a little bit of money, but with proper budgeting on my part, I'm hoping that I can I'd love to do this show with my model where I can actually move around.
That'd actually be pretty neat. So,
but yeah, that's something that I feel like will be fun to do. But talking about those who done, you know, past streamers, why are we still stuck on FleshTuber? What is wrong with you guys? I believe Lightest Tech Tips did a video on VTuber streaming for some. Oh yeah, Fillion popped up in that video.
I love how she popped off on Twitter that day when she found out that she finally got on the Linus Tech Tip video.
Well, I feel like at that point you feel accomplished and you feel like you've made it. So, but whew, today has been a good stream. There's still, you know, we actually got through all of our questions, all my questions that I've had. So yeah, no, we did. That's what happens when you have a mindset that stays on track.
No way. I was like, damn, I am sure that I'm gonna have to come back just to answer the rest of them.
So we do chat interviews written now. Who agrees? Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Well, I guess I could take some chat questions for a couple minutes if, you know, that's okay or anything. I don't know. I'm just kind of open book for a lot of things.
So, for those who are not a part of it, here is the link to the Discord for the VOD. You know, the show here. Here's the link to that Discord. Yeah. So, pardon me. That's where you'll find past guests. If you want, you know, maybe want to support them, reach out, you know, maybe try and do some collaborations. I feel like that'd be fun too, you know. But that is the Discord. If anybody wants to join it, that's where you can find updates for this show. That's where we're going to be advertising, you know, people like Ryn. So I highly encourage everyone to check it out, because that's how we're talking currently. But for you, Ryn, is there, what is your go-to Subway sandwich order?
Oh my god. Okay, so let me get this up.
Oh my goodness.
Because I already have one, like, saved on my account. So let's see. Where is it? Come on. No, I didn't want to find a location near me. I just wanted to see the sandwiches.
It just reminds me of a Fist of the North Star abridged quote where it's just like, why didn't you kill him? Why didn't you kill this man? I don't want this man's life, only his sandwiches.
He's got the prep work. Exactly. Oh my goodness, why are you not able to do things?
I mean, I feel like you have to at that point.
I mean, you gotta have your sandwich, whatever. Like anytime, ready to go.
You just have to be on that grind. You have to be ready.
I mean, if you want a sandwich while you're running out and doing stuff, you gotta have it just tap, tap, go.
Yeah. Well, for those who want to know while he's getting that up, my go-to Subway sandwich, I get the sweet onion teriyaki chicken. I like to have that on toasted wheat with a little bit of Swiss cheese. Throw some light lettuce, some spinach, and onions. And then I like to have that with sweet onion teriyaki sauce with some salt and pepper. It is so good.
Okay, I think I've got it up. Let's see.
Ready? Oh my gosh. So we'll...
Did they really have to do that?
Nina's back!
Nina's back, bitches!
A BMT on Italian herbs and cheese with marinara, white cheddar, and onions, toasted, oregano, salt, pepper, parmesan. What is a BMT?
Bacon, mashed tomato. I don't know.
Italian BMT.
Let's see. So normally I would get
biggest, meatiest, tastiest. Coincidentally, that was my nickname in college. Wait, I'm still in college. Ah! Oh my goodness. So
let's see.
What is this order?
So the monster, extra bacon.
Okay.
Salt, pepper, jalapenos. Well, no, actually, take that back. I mixed the two up. Not jalapenos, banana peppers,
okay.
black onion, or not black onion, black. What are the
black
fucking
olives?
things? Olives, yes.
Okay. Slay.
It's been a minute. And that would pretty much be it.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would agree with you on the sweet onion teriyaki.
So then why don't you post it? Why don't you post this in the Discord so everybody can judge you? So, like I said, I'll post it again. Anybody who wants to come into the Discord, that way you can have a crowd of people roast both Rin and I for our trash takes on Subway foods. Like I said, I highly encourage everyone to do that. Plus, you can also help support him, you know, spreading the word. I don't mind that at all. People, you know, coming in and doing that. So, challenge of the day: go to a Subway and ask for a salad bowl full of olives. You know, you could.
They will do it.
Why would they do that? Why?
I have gone in as a meme before, and I was like, you know what? Give me a box of spinach. And they gave it to me, no questions asked.
Dinner pics will be posted this evening. You know what? I will get Subway after this stream and I will post it. Okay? I will do it. My brother in... Dudes be like, Subway sucks. My brother in Christ, you made the sandwich. So anywho, Rin, is there anything else that we need to know while you're here? You know, anything that's coming up? Please, tell us really quick about that. If not...
Put me on the spot, so my brain is just like, oh hey, it's there, bye!
Because if not, where can we find you? And when can we see you stream? Because you can put all the project stuff, you can gladly put that in the chat, or in the Discord.
Okay, so I am moving down from moving down from 4 days a week, which was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, to Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll be starting up this week. Can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and I probably won't put my Discord anywhere here, but yeah. Can I add any more stuff to this? Oh yes, and if you go to my Discord, you can find pictures of my cat.
I see. Well, we definitely have to go. We definitely have to do that. So if you want to, I don't mind it. I will have. We can have that link in the general Discord. You know, that way people can come on by to your Discord as well. So,
all right, well, I will put that in the live show chat as well. There we go.
Look at that. Well, thank you everybody for stopping by, for coming in, and specifically thank you, Rin, for coming in and just having such a really good conversation. You know, doing this is episode 4. You know, hoping to do many more, but this is one I certainly won't forget, and I anticipate we'll see you back on the show, so I expect to hear progress.
Progress or terrifying stories, whichever of which.
Why not both? I expect to, next time, with the help of Nina, I want to actually see this PDF document of 10 pages of lore.
I think I have that pinned. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that?
12-point font, single spaced, front to back.
Okay.
Okay?
Nina, I hope you're okay with me sending this in his server, just so that way he can take a quick look while we're live to see how many pages. I've not looked to see if this is
Holy
updated
cow.
in a week.
Right, more than.
Oh, it's only 2 now? She condensed it.
Well, we will see. We'll see where that happens. Sound good?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, everyone. Well, you know what time it is. Everybody say goodbye to Rin. We love him, and we will see him again. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Alrighty, well, I think instead of just doing a normal ending screen, I think I'll just go to my finished one, and then we're going to go raid the Phantom Fame, who is going to be our next guest tomorrow. So please, join me in that raid, and everybody say hello to the Phantom Fame. I wish I had my raid. I wish I had my raid thing saved. Does anybody have a raid message? Like, I don't know, I don't know what to say. Because I don't have a raid message. I used to. I'll go back and find one. Okay?
Perfect.
But yeah, so everybody, I encourage you, please join me over in the raid, because the Phantom Fame is our guest tomorrow. And, you know, that way we can all support him. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Perfect. Well, I will see all of you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rin Shadow Legends. Rin Shadow Legends? Something like that.
Oh god, I don't want to do that ad read.
So, everybody type femboy raid when we go in. That'll be it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.